Hey guys, what's up? It's Obs here with another video. I know it's been super long since I last uploaded. I've just been super busy, but here we are. So it's finally time for 8th grade memories. So I was in 8th grade around 2008, and I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do that year as far as extracurricular goes, because I wanted to try out for the musical that year, which I did the year before, but that's only because, one, I liked to play the year before in the musical, but also because all my friends were trying out. But in 2008, all my friends decided to play field hockey instead, which I don't like field hockey. And plus, I didn't like the coach very much, so I didn't try out for field hockey, and I didn't try out for the musical, which I guess I should have, but I was too nervous without having any of my friends there, so I didn't try out. I decided to join a after-school activity instead, which the activity was called Storytellers, and it's just basically where you made up stories and told them, which I used to love doing when I was younger. I still kind of do it, but like not like I used to. So I joined that, but then I found out one of the other students who was in a grade below me, I believe, was in the musical as well, and she said I should come and see it, and we kind of became close, like not like so close, but we kind of like where we like if we saw each other in the halls we would talk or say hi or whatever. So I did come see the musical, and it was Aladdin Jr., and it was good overall. It just was like really weird to be there with like out my friends, because I didn't tell my friends I was going to see or anything. And then after the fact, like towards the end of the year, where we were just like letting everything out like that we wanted people to know before going to high school. I told them like that, and we resolved it, but like they felt really bad. They're like, why didn't you tell us that you wanted to try out for the musical? I'm like, you guys were all in field hockey. They're like, yeah, but we're allowed to try out for other things, so you live and you learn, I guess. So 8th grade, my favorite teacher was my English teacher. We just got along really well. I think I was one of her favorite students. I don't like to say that because like you're technically not supposed to have favorite students or whatever, but sometimes you do. And my favorite part of that classroom, and it was the room, the teacher was awesome, but my favorite part of being in that classroom was I sat in the front row, and right across from my desk the whole year was a poster of Zac Efron as Link Larkin from the movie Hairspray. I got to sit across from that poster all year long. I was so excited when I got that seat. And that's what kind of like what we bonded over, like that I like Zac Efron and stuff. And she got me this. I was in 8th grade, okay? She got me this sticker book of High School Musical 2. I still have it, or I used to still have it. I don't know where I put it. But I had that book for years, and it was just a sticker book and like a book you could write in. I don't know why she gave it to me. I guess it's just like one of those like things you find. But like we would have creative writing every Friday, and I think she played the Hairspray soundtrack, and then one day she played the High School Musical 2 soundtrack. I mean, like, this was school, and I was getting to listen to my favorite, like, musicals, and I sat across from a Zac Efron poster all year. Like, yeah, but I've always liked English. English was always my favorite subject. Some years it was, some years it wasn't. 8th grade just happened to be one of my favorite years, and like whenever like she would have to send paperwork for a student down to the office, except one time she would always ask me to bring it down to the office. So the office got to know me pretty well during my 8th grade year. Not for anything wrong, just because whenever she had to send paperwork for a student who was doing something wrong, she would send me down to bring it to the office. Which I was like, alright, like whatever, but you know. Also in 8th grade, me and my friends, some of my friends were in Title I, which is kind of like a support center kind of thing. And some of my friends would be in language, and like if you didn't take a language, you were in like Title One, what they call Title One. But for some reason, like towards the end of the year, my other friends who usually would take a language were allowed down in Title One with us, and a teacher would come by Title One like every morning and just play Toy Story Uno with us. Like, yeah, like he would just come down with me, like to the Title One room and play Toy Story Uno with me and my friends. He was a teacher to one of my friends, but he always called her the wrong name because she looked like one name, and we just called her all the time because it kind of just stuck. But like, you had to be there and know the origin of the nickname to call her that. In 8th grade, my least favorite teacher was my history teacher. Nobody really liked him. So yeah. In 8th grade, you had the chance to go on a trip to New York. Originally, the plan was I was gonna go to New York, but I didn't want to because then my like really good friends were going. So I canceled my trip to New York. I kind of wish I didn't, and I kind of am thankful I did at the same time. The original plan was while other students were in New York, we were allowed to do really whatever we wanted and watch movies, but then mom was kind of upset that her son wasn't learning anything in school while being in school, so we were forced to do work, like a subject or so, like every day. But like while we were watching a movie, I would read because we were watching The Lord of the Rings, and I'm not really into Lord of the Rings. And my teacher was like, she said to me and my friend, because we were really well behaved, she goes, if you girls want to go in the next room to like draw or something, you're more than welcome to, but my friend didn't want to do that, and I didn't want to be in a room all alone, so we kind of just like didn't accept the offer. But yeah, I kind of wish I did go to New York because I would have been on my English teacher's bus on the way to New York, and we watched, and I guess the bus watched Hairspray. The only reason I would have been on my English teacher's bus is because it depended on what teachers were going, and sometimes you got to choose whose bus you wanted to be on, and I guess my name might have still been on the list. And I guess they watched Hairspray on the way up, so I'm a little upset about that, but I can watch Hairspray whenever. But yeah, 8th grade was really fun. I remember the end of the year we had this 8th grade cookout, and I remember me and my friend, for some reason we had to go into the Title One room like right before the cookout, and our teacher was like, he poked his head through the window. He's like, hey, you girls, like, gonna come out? We're like, yeah, we're just getting something for a teacher. I forget how we got into the room, but for some reason we had to go into the towel room before the cookout. I forget why, though. So yeah, safe to say my favorite part of 8th grade was probably English, and my least favorite was history. However, in 8th grade, right before I hit 8th grade, my big sister moved to Connecticut. This is because Big Brother's big sister, she moved away. And one day when I was going down to study hall in my math room, because we had study hall each week in different classrooms, and if we were in our math classroom, we had to do math work in study hall, which was not really fair, but whatever. But I was walking down the hall planning to go to the nurse anyways, and I saw these 3 people in the halls, and they were pretty, like, grown up. I was like, oh, it's teachers waiting outside in the hall before class starts. Lo and behold, I come closer, it's my big sister and her co-workers, and I haven't seen her, like, the whole summer, or like the whole year, and I was so excited. I got in trouble for being late to math study hall, but it was so worth it. I don't really remember field day in 8th grade. I know we probably had one, but I don't really remember it. And that's about it. I remember we were getting ready for high school. Oh, that's the thing. So I was planning to go to a tech high school, and it was a very elaborate process. It kind of reminded me of like a college process instead of a high school process. because like you had to fill out an application and have an interview for it. So I filled out the application, I got an interview. The only reason I did not get into a tech high school is because you had to have very good attendance. My attendance was not good at all, so they did not accept me because of that. So I ended up going to a public high school, which was fine with me. It worked out better because I was with my friends and all that fun stuff as well. But I remember being like so devastated that I did not get into a tech high school. I acted like I wasn't upset about it in front of my mom, but of course I was upset. But it ended up to work out okay. You'll learn that when I start making my high school memory videos, like memories of 9th grade or whatever. But 8th grade was really just a fun time to relax and reflect. Oh, so in Title I, if you didn't have any homework after school, you were allowed to help. And my friend had a worksheet to do on Charles M. Schulz, who, if you don't know who that is the creator of Charlie Brown, or the Peanuts, whatever you want to call it. And she had no idea what Charlie Brown was. I go, you don't know what Charlie Brown is? Like, I was shocked. Like, I was really, really shocked. And then also, there was this teacher that my friend had, and I guess my brother had this teacher when he was younger also, and last time I saw this teacher I was probably around 3, or like maybe even 2. And we were in her classroom and I go, do you remember so-and-so and so-and-so? I said my brother's name and his friend's name. And she goes, yeah. And I go, I'm so-and-so's little sister. She goes, you're little Aubrey? And I go, yeah, I guess I am. At that time I was still going by Aubrey. I wasn't going by Aubrey yet. So she's like, you're little Aubrey? I go, I guess. Like, nobody in my family has ever called me little Aubrey. So like, I didn't know that was a legitimate nickname. But that's about it. That's all I can remember about 8th grade. All I know is that I was obsessed with the Click series as well. If you guys ever read those books or even seen the movie. Those were when the individual books of the characters were coming out, like the Massey book and the Kristen and the Dylan, and I gave my Massey book to my friend. She never returned it and I never got to read it. I was upset, but I was like, why did I give it to her before I read it? Like, that's what I don't understand. But yeah. So 8th grade was really special. It was my last year of middle school. I had graduation. I remember the dress I was wearing. I remember the bra I had to wear was like a few sizes too big. But yeah, I'm one of the last ones because my last name starts with like a Y, so I was one of the last ones. But yeah, 8th grade was really special. It was my last year of high school. Middle school. I was ready to go to high school, and you're probably wondering, how was my relationship with that teacher after? It was good. I got to have lunch with her one day before graduation, and I saw her a few years after in my high school. But I'll get more in like 11th grade when I did the musical in 11th grade. But that's for 11th grade video. Alright, so I hope you guys like this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up, and I'll talk to you in my next video. Sorry again, I've been gone for so long. Peace out. Bye, guys.